Right, so now that we've put in all our transactions, you will notice that right at the bottom of your transactions manual, you will see that you are asked to submit the following reports. Journal entries for all journals from 1 July to July 15, 2016. The general ledger, trial balance for July 15, 2016. The balance sheet at July 1, 2016 and July 15, so it's a comparative balance sheet that you are being asked to submit, and an income statement from July 1 to July 15. So that's the requirement. So I'll take you through how to do this. Right, so I want you to close this transactions manual because we no longer need it. If you want instructions on how to do this, if you go into your Moodle, your AME Moodle, you'll see that I have put a link there to a document exporting Sage 50 files to Excel. So if you click on that, it will give you some instruction for it. Right? And so if you follow that, you should be fine. To make your life easier though, I will talk you through how to do this. And so to download your journal entries, I want you to go to Reports in your main window. I want you to go to Journal Entries and select All. Now check the dates. The requirements from our assignment is that the journal entries you submit should be dated from July 1 to July 15. So check the date. So start July 1, 2016, finish July 15, 2016. So that should be fine. We don't want to see corrections, so just leave those out. I want you to go to Report to Font Settings, right there in the navigation pane. I want you to go to Font Settings, and then I want you to select Custom Font Settings, and I want you to go to Report Header and select the middle selection, and there. This is just to center your report headings. Otherwise they are flush left, and so that's not ideal. You know, when we are presenting our financial statements, that our heading is centered and is in a particular order. So this is what we're asking Sage to do, to center our headings. Say okay, and so you'll see that Sage will generate your journals with the report headings and subheadings centered. Now I want you to export this to Excel, because remember the requirement is that your financial statements will be submitted as one workbook, one Excel workbook. So I want you to go and say export, and I want you to export this to the flash drive you're working out of. So this is my flash drive, and I've saved all this in eCampus CG Wedding Planning Services. Those will be called CG Wedding Planning Services. I go in there and I'm just going to put my name for what it's worth. Put my name in there, and then put all journal, or just say journal. That will do it. Journal entries, save. So now I'm exporting this to Excel, and so I'm creating an Excel workbook with a single tab which contains all my journal entries, and close. I'll open it later from my flash drive. What I'm going to do now is to go and export my journal ledger. So I have to bring it up first. So to bring up your journal ledger, reports, go financials, and look for ledger, journal ledger. Now check the date. We are asked to submit a journal ledger with no date. So now it says start from 1 July and finish on 15 July. Those are all the transactions we put in. That is perfect. So those are our report options, and we're happy with the default. I want you to go into the navigation pane and select font settings. I want you to go to custom font settings, and I want you to change the report header to middle, and the sub report title to middle as well, and I want you to say OK. And so there you've generated your general ledger report, and now I want you to export it to this to Excel and name it for what it's worth with your name just there, and save. Close. The other financial statement we're asked to present is the trial balance, so I'm going to go to reports, financials, trial balance, and this is as at 15 July, so I want here to say as at 15 July. That's perfect. And I want you to go to font settings, and again custom font settings to make this centered. Say OK. I'm going to ask you to export this,
I have insurance with you guys already.
and I want you to name it. Say trial balance and save. Close. Next I'm going to export the balance sheet, so I'm going to go reports, financials, balance sheet as at July 1 and July 15, so it's a comparative balance sheet.
What I want to do is I'm in the middle of a divorce here now.
And you know what? It's okay that the first period is the later session date. That's the norm, that your first period shows the latest figures and the second period shows the earlier figures. And I want you to select report first period versus second period and difference in amounts only. Okay, so go and read here, amounts only, not percentages, just amounts only. And say go to font settings, go custom font settings, middle, OK, and there you have it. And then I want you to export that to Excel and just put your name in at the beginning for what it's worth.
What happens if I just cancel it and just renew it?
Okay, and close. Then the last financial statement I'm asked to submit is income statement, so I'm going to go reports, financials, income statement.
Yeah.
And this is from 1 July to 15 July, and that's fine. 1 July to 15 July. And I want you to go to font settings, custom font settings, middle, and go OK. There you go. So that is your income statement. I want you to export that to.
Okay, so what are we looking at there? 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Income statement. Say save.
Okay, perfect. And so that's what I'll do. Now, if something came up, and let's say the Corolla crapped out on me or something like that,
Good.
I can call
And so now you've exported all your financial statements to Excel. Now we're just going to consolidate them, because remember the requirement is that you have to submit them as one workbook. And so I'll do that in the next video.